It is Monday, March 8th, 2021. Welcome into the Early Edge powered by SportsLine. I am the coach coming off a profitable Sunday. Basically 5-3. We gave you 2 plus winners, a plus 175 in hockey. So for a $100 better, you came back plus 150 on the day. That is never a bad return. The Maestro, 2-1 in college hoops. M Squared gave you a NASCAR head-to-head, that hockey play. So right now, we're covering all the sports. Don't forget, coming up a little bit later today, turn on your notifications. We're doing another Kicking It with Tom episode of the Early Edge that we will look forward to the soccer plays for the rest of the week. It'll be in your feed sometime this afternoon. No winners in our Perfect Parlay contest yesterday, but don't forget, you can play every single day. Go to our YouTube page, leave your best bet. If that hits and one of our cappers is perfect, and today's could be a good day for that, then you'll be eligible for a year-long subscription to SportsLine. Let's bring in our cappers right now. We're running the three-man weave as we really start to get them fired up. Because starting tomorrow, we're going to have a full slate for the entire. We might have to do 2 shows a day. I don't know. But first, right below me, he is a Zack attack. Zack Cimini. Good morning, Zack.
Good morning, Coach. It's officially postseason time in college basketball, and I can't believe a week from now we're going to be filling out our brackets and looking at the NCAA tournament.
And for people at home who want to play along with us, all of us here on the screen right now, we'll be filling out our own March Madness bracket, turning it in, and you can play against the experts. One of those experts right next to Zack. He is M Squared. Good morning, Mikey.
Good morning, Coach. I cannot wait to fill out my bracket and compete with everyone on the show. I highly recommend all of you watching, listening, fill out those brackets. Let's have a lot of fun with it. I have a lot of things planned for March Madness this year.
I am sure that you do. Can't wait to see what those are. But I got to tell you, I got to be honest, that the man I'm trying to beat, the man that's straight in my crosshairs, is the man that's right next to me on the screen. The Maestro. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, Coach. Really thought we were going to get a 3-0 yesterday. Iowa Joe Wieskamp goes down with an ankle. He was 5 of 5. He had 12 points early. They were up double digits. I thought they were going to roll. They win by 4. You know, the good news is it doesn't look too serious. I mean, they need this guy. 50% from the field, 48% from Trey. I think he'll be back for the NCAA tournament. Not sure about the Big Ten tournament, though.
Well, we do have some really good news, Maestro, about the Big Ten tournament, and I'm going to tell everybody in just a minute. But first, we've got to hit our storylines that could affect the betting lines this week. Zack, what do you got for us?
Well, for future value, we're in the conference tournaments now, of course. In Conference USA, I'm going to eye North Texas plus 250. They're listed as co-favorites, even though they've lost their last 3 straight to end the season. I think that speaks to the strength of their team. They've played very well against Power 5 schools this year, including West Virginia. They have balanced scoring, and they have a high-energy motor guy in Thomas Bell. He's all over the floor. That's the type of guy you want going into a tournament. And then North Texas, going further a little bit, if they can win this tournament, watch out for them. They're going to be a 13th, probably 14th seed. I think they can upset in the opening round.
And you know there's always a 12, 13, or 14 that either upsets or comes really, really close in the first round of that tournament. I love future betting in conference tournaments because it gives you more than just that head-to-head matchup. All right, let's go to another tournament that the Maestro has his eyes on. Larry, what is that?
Well, can you believe that Duke is playing early, one of those early games against Boston College in the ACC tournament? It's just unheard of to see Duke in those early games, which are not the greatest matchups. But I'm looking at some value in that tournament. And I got to credit the William Hill odds makers because they've put Georgia Tech all the way down to 7-1. At other sites, I've still seen in them as high as 10-1. But William Hill is not going to let you get that same kind of value. I still love Georgia Tech. You know, they've won 6 in a row. If you look at all the other teams that they're competing against, Virginia, FSU are the co-favorites, and then UNC. They beat FSU. They beat UNC. They beat Clemson. They beat Virginia Tech. They've won 6 in a row. They have the ACC Player of the Year. It's going to be announced today, Moses, right? They have Alvarado and DeVoe. This team is so hungry, has not been to the big dance in over a decade. And the only team they lost to, Virginia, they lost by 2 points in Charlottesville, and then they had an 8-point home loss. Virginia, not a dominant team. FSU, 3-4 on the road. I mean, probably the best team in the conference, but they can be had as well. I just love the way it sets up for Georgia Tech because they would get Virginia in the semis. They wouldn't play FSU until the final. So I'm looking at the Yellow Jackets to win the ACC.
All that stuff right there the Maestro just gave you, that's value on Georgia Tech. And it's not necessarily that he feels like they will win, But at 7-1 or 8 or wherever you find it, there's value in that. And that's what sports betting is all about. Not necessarily they're going to, but we feel like they could with the odds that they get. Now, this week, we told you we're giving away 5 free year-long subscriptions to SportsLine. All you had to do is go to our Apple Podcast, leave who you thought was going to win the Arnold Palmer Invitational, and you would be eligible. Giving away 5 today. Now, Bryson DeChambeau, he dazzled the world in going to his 8th PGA Tour victory. Here are our 5 winners. And don't worry, the jeweler is going to reach out to you on Twitter to let you know how you can cash in for free for the next year. At Benz4J, at Urkelinme _Smalls. Why would you ever pick that name? I don't know. Ballman Brandon, T Maestro 04. Is that a brother? And then Nick Coker, Nekoukar. Some interesting Twitter handles. You 5 are the winners this week. We are going to do another contest this week. Again, go to Apple Podcast, leave us a 5-star review, and tell us who you think is going to win the Big Ten tournament this week. You too will be eligible then for a year-long subscription. Next Monday, we'll hand them out right here on the show. All right, speaking of SportsLine, it's time for our plays of the day, and we have 2 of them, and we're going right back to the NHL, where on Sunday we cash a plus 160, 170 ticket just for you. Our first play today, the LA Kings minus 120 over the Anaheim Ducks. Our SportsLine model has the Kings covering 71% of the time. Jeff Hockman is also on the Kings tonight. That's a 10 Eastern drop the puck. Also, the Canadiens minus 150. Our models have them winning in well over 60% of our simulations. Vancouver, they have won 2 straight at home. However, both of those were over Toronto. Before that, they lost 5 straight in their home rink. They go back to their losing ways tonight. Be on the Canadiens minus the 150. All right, here we go. Our board, little light today. We never force anything. M squared, what do you got?
That's right, Coach. Very light today, but it's not light in the Horizon League. I love this game here for Northern Kentucky versus Oakland. So you can get this at minus 1.5, -2 for Northern Kentucky. My simulations make them minus 5.6. So the major difference here between these 2 teams, I will admit, Oakland is slightly better. It's very close, but slightly better in terms of offensive rating and offensive efficiency. But they are significantly worse on the defensive end of the floor. They actually rank 339th in defensive rating in my model, which is pretty bad if you know anything about college basketball there. I think that's going to be the difference in the game. I love Northern Kentucky. I love college basketball at this point in the season. It's essentially win or go home type games. So this Northern Kentucky team, they got a few guys that I really like. One of them, Bryson Langdon. He played 40 minutes, all 40 minutes in the last game. I expect him to do that again here against Oakland. I make this game again minus 5.6. I would play it all the way up to minus 3.5. I don't think it gets there. I think we're seeing pretty equal action on both sides of the market here. So grab it now at minus 1.5 if you can. -2 is fine. But again, minus 5.6 for Northern Kentucky.
Mikey, there is no question that we are the official podcast of the Horizon League. With that being said, Maestro, give it to me.
Well, I'm going to go with Cleveland State. You know, the last time we used them on the pod, they did not come through, but they had been very good to us, for most of the season. And they get a Milwaukee team that is just, had some unbelievable comebacks. They were down 20+. They came back to beat Wright State. But now we're going to a neutral site. Cleveland State 5-1 against the number last 6 on the neutral site. Milwaukee 0-6 ATS last 6 on neutral sites. And you go back to the 2 matchups this year. Cleveland State won by 11 the first matchup, and the second matchup they were up 13 with less than 2 minutes left. They got careless, and Milwaukee came back and beat them in overtime. I don't think we're going to see that kind of a letdown today in the Horizon semis. Cleveland State got a pretty good wake-up call having to go to triple overtime in their first game. I think they cover the 3.5.
Oh, I can't wait for the Horizon League games today. And a quick reminder, coming up later today in your feed, a brand new episode of The Early Edge, Kicking It with Tom. All the Champions League soccer stuff you can handle. We'll have that later today. But right now, we're up against it. So grab your paper, grab your pencil. It's that time. Thank you, jeweler. M squared. He's on Northern Kentucky today, -2. Zack Attack. He's looking at a futures bet today. Conference USA winner. He likes North Texas +250. And the Maestro, right back to the Horizon League. He likes Cleveland State -3.5 over Milwaukee. That's a 6:30 Eastern tip tonight. And our SportsLine app plays of the day, both from the NHL, the Kings -120 and the Canadiens -150. By the way, we're making that North Texas play our Chiefs dog of the day selection. Oh, that feels good. All right. You've got your marching orders. It's Monday. I'm getting excited. Let's take all these tickets straight to the pay window. For Zack Attack, for M Squared, for the Maestro, Chief, who did not make an appearance today, taking the day off, and the jeweler, of course, who puts all this together. I am the coach. This is your only place for your daily early edge. Good luck.